Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Y'all, let's do some really fun and inexpensive paper crafting. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by and spend some time with me. Today we are going to do something oh so simple. We are going to use file folders to create something that from time to time we all need and that we can all use. Here is what I'm talking about. This is a very large journal. It is 8 3/4 by 5 3/4 and it is big. So if you have a lot of writing that you like to do, this is going to be the perfect project for you. If you know someone who likes to do a lot of writing, this is going to be the perfect gift for you to give to them. Very simple to make and very inexpensive to make, because we are going to use decorative file folders as the jacket for these. Now, I got these file folders about 2 years ago from currentcatalog.com. I'll have the website linked below, but I was able to get 12 file folders, and I believe that when I bought these, it was buy one, get one free. So I know that for the 12, I paid about $8. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I know that I didn't pay any more than $10 for this pack of file folders, and it really was more like $8. So that is some real economical paper crafting. And then we're going to deconstruct some Dollar Tree writing pads to use as the paper inside of these. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, guys, so here is a closer look at today's project. It really is very cheery and beautiful and so easy to make. On the front, I have a cut apart that says, "I was made for sunny days." And then when you open it, a laugh is a smile that bursts. And you can see just how gorgeous this is. We have this pocket. Then we have all of our writing pages. I'm being very gentle with this because it's not completely dry. But you can see that we have page after page after page of note-taking paper. And then, of course, we have that back flap. And you come to the back and we have another pocket. So this really is a very easy and inexpensive way to make beautiful notebooks. And these are perfect for gift giving, keeping, or selling at a craft fair or on your Etsy store. And so here's what I'm using for my project. I am using writing tablets from the Dollar Tree. And all I'm doing is just basically taking the paper out of the tablet so that I'll have a stack of loose papers. Now, how many papers you need will depend really on how wide your spine is. I'm using a spine that is 1/2 inch wide. So basically, I'll take my stack of papers and measure until I get to 1/2 inch. So I really can't tell you what the total is because it's all going to depend on what type of paper you use and how thick it is. You just need to make sure that when you lay your papers out, whatever the width of your spine is, your set of papers are no wider than that. And then I have a standard size file folder that is 11 3/4 by 9. We will be doing some adjustments to this, but this is the size that I'm starting out with. And then I have a decorative piece that measures 12 by 12. Again, we will cut this down as well, but this is what we're starting with, a 12 by 12 piece. So if you're using a standard file folder, it always has grooves in the middle so that you can expand it. We're going to take that and fold it on that second line. So I skipped that first score and I folded it on the second one. So that means I'm going to take that second score that I folded, going to place it at the 6 mark and cut. Then I'll turn it around to this side. And this time I'll take the first mark and line it up with 6 and cut. So when we fold this, we're going to have that 1/2 inch spine, and then we're going to have 6 inches this way and 6 inches this way. So then we're going to take it, place it in the scoreboard, and it should be 11 3/4 inches. And we're going to score this at 8 7/8. And then we'll just fold on that score mark. We're going to burnish. And so when we open it, we're going to have this flap here. We're going to go to the outer score mark on both sides and just angle in. So I did it there. I'll come over to this one, angle in, and I'll have this piece. I am simply going to remove that piece by cutting across on the score mark. So now I can take my glue, and I'm going to place my glue right on that edge to form that pocket. Then I'll place my glue on this edge to form this pocket. And I'll use my big old spatula to get both pockets nice and stuck. And now we have the jacket for the notebook. So basically what we're going to do next is place our inside pieces. Now you could be using sketch paper or a thicker cardstock. That's one of the reasons why I'm not telling you how many pieces of paper you need to put on the inside. You need to make sure that your stack is no larger than 1/2 inch. Okay, so we need to take our 12 by 12 inch piece, and I am going to cut it at 8 7/8. Then I'll rotate it to the 12 inch side, and we're going to score at 5 3/4. Rotate it to the opposite 12 and score at 5 3/4. And now we will fold and burnish all of our scores. And so this piece is going to cover our papers, and then we can take it and we're going to place it in our jacket just like this. So now we need to bring in our stack of papers, and these papers are 8 3/4 inch long, so they should fit inside. And you want to make sure that when you're placing that stack of papers that you don't have a big gap inside of here. You might have a little space, but you really want to try to come as close as you can to having a snug fit of papers on the inside. So I am going to bring in a couple of my clips. And I get my clips from the Dollar Tree, but I understand they can also be found on Amazon. And all I'm doing is stacking my papers. I'm going to take my clips and put one here. And so now that I have it nice and straight, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my glue. I'm going to take my glue and place a series of dots of glue on this piece, and I'm placing it like this because it's easier for me to control the spread of it than if I laid down one gigantic piece of glue. So I'm just going to take my fingers, spread my glue all the way across, and this is a technique you guys have seen me do many times. And I'm just making sure that I have really good coverage. So now I can take this and I'm just going to slide it in my book like so. Remove those clips, and then I'll straighten everything out, making sure that I have my papers pushed in and not sticking out at the bottom. And then once I have my papers in the way that I want them, I'm just going to tap this a few times just to get them aligned. I'm going to take my big old spatula and just go along the back to make sure that I have everything nice and stuck. Then I'm going to open my first page just to make sure that it looks like everything is sticking well, and it is. I'll flip it over to this side, open the back page to do the same thing, because what you want to make sure of is that you don't have a page stuck to either the back flap or the front flap. And when you don't, then you can just take your bone folder, big old spatula, whatever you're using, and just keep going over that spine. And now that we have this cover on, you can see that this is a pretty journal all by itself. But we are going to go ahead and take this and place it inside of our cover. Now to do this piece, I'm actually going to place my glue inside of the spine. So there's my spine right there. And I am just going to place my glue right in that spine. So I'll place it just doing a zigzag, as if you were doing a zigzag stitch, going from top to bottom, or bottom to top, however you want to do it. Now I can take my book and bring it up to the spine and just place it in and slide it back. And how simple was that? And then when you have it in the way that you want it, go ahead and do the same thing with your big old spatula, bone folder, whatever you're using. Go ahead and get that stuck. And then again, I'm going to just tap it to make sure I have everything going back. And I'll use my big old spatula again, just to go along that spine. And so I'll open this, and if I have any gaps, now I can just take my glue and put my glue in and fill in those gaps. And this is giving me great control over putting this together. And I'll just use my big old spatula to go along the back. Get that nice and stuck. Open it again, and you can see that I no longer have those gaps, but we need to let that glue dry. And I'll flip it over to the back. I have a little bit of gapping there, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just add some more glue. And I'll use my big old spatula to get it nice and tight. And so now we have a very lovely journal, and we need to decorate. Decorating is going to be very simple. I have this little cut apart of encouragement that says good vibes are coming your way. I'll use my tape runner, add some tape, and we'll place this down with a little border. I am going to use my We Are Memory Keepers scissors that came in a pack, and I'll trim out. Now we can take good vibes coming your way, and I'll use my glue. I'm going to place some glue right along the back. Then I'll take this and I'm just going to put it down. So on the inside I have another cut apart that I'm going to place down, and it says it's a beautiful day today. I'm going to add some tape to the back of this. We'll place it down. I'm going to grab my scissors. And again, these scissors are We Are Memory Keepers. They were a part of a pack of We Are Memory Keepers accessories that were bought at Tuesday Morning. And I'll trim right here as well. So now I'll take some glue, place my glue on the back. We can take this, and I'm being very gentle in how I open it because I don't want the glue that I placed on the inside to come undone. Let's get that stuck. I have another 8 3/4 by 5 3/4 journal that was made using a file folder and some Dollar Tree notepad paper. It is so simple and so easy to be able to make these, and look at what you end up with. This is a great gift. It's great to keep if you like to journal, and it's a great seller. So I am going to bring the first one back in. I'm going to very gently open this one because it's still not dry completely, to give you a look. And then here's number 2. That should be very, very dry now. And you can see that we have these wonderful pages. And the beauty of this flexible spine journal, where we haven't added a piece of chipboard, is that you're now able to take it, and I'm not going to bend it all the way back yet, but you can bend this flat, and these pages are not going to come out because I used my Reptile Glue, and once it sticks, it is stuck. So guys, I hope that you have liked this fun, creative way to make beautiful journals using file folders. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.